there hasn't been a new asset class since the bond market was started in 1693. Well, now there's a new asset class, and it is the digital asset space. The question is, are you participating? Hey, what's going on, guys? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. What's going on, guys? Good evening. Happy, I don't even know. Is it Tuesday? Happy Tuesday to you. Hope you guys are having an absolutely outstanding day today, and I hope it gets even better for you. We're going to have a great hangout today. Did Brad Garlinghouse come out swinging or what? Did Brad Garlinghouse, Big BG, did that dude come out swinging or what? Wow. That's all I can say is wow. The dude came out swinging. And doesn't it in fact fall in line with what we've been saying about that new executive order? How many people in the community, first of all, how many people in the community is like, man, it's Ripple's been quiet. Like, what's going on? Right? Ripple's been quiet. We haven't heard a peep. What's going on with them dudes over there? Nothing for Brad Garlinghouse, right? We're like, look, the beer code is going on. What's up? These payments, we could do it. Ripple could take care of it. Nothing. Not a peep. Not a pin. You could hear a pin drop. Nothing. Nothing from Big BG. Right? Nothing. But I got to tell you, right after the executive order comes out, and by the way, right after Jeremy Allaire did a video, and he had one of the dudes, a prominent dude from China, former executive officer, I believe, at Bitmain, speak on the digital yuan, speak on the DCEP. Did you guys hear that? Did you catch that? Did you catch that video on YouTube? Yeah. Did you guys catch that? The guy's a little hard to understand, so Jeremy had to break it down for us a little bit. But man, did you catch that? Did you guys catch that video? And then here comes Mr. Brad Garlinghouse. Here comes Mr. Brad Garlinghouse all over Twitter. Right? All over Twitter, like, you guys need to catch up. What's up? China is making moves. He called them out. Did you guys catch that on Twitter today? Did you guys catch that on Twitter, BG, Brad Garlinghouse, what he said on Twitter today? Calling them out, like, come on. What have we been saying on this channel? We've been saying on this channel that Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz, without question, without have made it perfectly clear that the greatest detriment to digital asset adoption are the regulators, is regulation or the lack thereof. Right? Regulation or the lack thereof. Right? And just went, right? And soon as the executive order comes out, now he knows if we know about the executive order, they know about the executive order. Right? If we know about that executive order, the people at Ripple know about it. And leave it to Big BG to come out there on Twitter and say, what's going on? Oh, I love it. Did you guys catch it? Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Did you guys catch Brad Garlinghouse on Twitter? What did he say? I was going to title the video. Did Brad Garlinghouse say what I just thought he said? But I don't want to do that again. But man, the dude came out swinging. Trey G said, nah, I missed it. The dude came out swinging. We're going to share that with you, Trey G. No worries. We're going to share that with you, bro. Wow. Wow. He came out swinging. Gotta love it. I'm going to share it with you guys. William Leather, appreciate you being here, sir. Yes, sir. You were number one, first to to the stream, brother. I appreciate you being here. TJ Jackson, what's good, my dude? Good to see you. Hey, Chanel, what's going on, man? It's good to see you tonight. Crypto Insomniac is in the building. What's up, Crypto Insomniac? How you doing tonight? When Mullet is here. When Mullet is here. What's going on, When Mullet? I tell you, my Wealth Wednesday, the Generational Wealth Wednesday is going to be off the hook tomorrow. It's going to be a gut thing. It's body blows tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Generational Wealth Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Body blows tomorrow. What's this? Love forever. What's going on, my dude? Good to see you. Or I should say, what's going on? I'm not sure if that's a dude or dudette. Crypto Delivery is in the building. What's up, Crypto Delivery? Good to see you. Always great to see you on the stream. Saturn Net 1 is here. And 416 Crypto. Guys, what is going on? Good to see you tonight. We're going to have a good time. Maybe Sober's in the building. Good day to you, dude. Crypto Delivery. Will XRP is here. M1 Geronimo is here. What's going on? What's going on with you, my friend? Good to see you tonight. Yeah, guys, make sure you smash the likes on the way in. We're going to have a good time tonight. If you guys are not following me on Twitter, I would appreciate the follow, absolutely, without question, at crypto_siege, CEEJ. And on Facebook, it's the Crypto Siege. That would be really, really cool. Trying to grow that Facebook page for sure so that we can get more content out there. The Boiling Crypto is here. What's going on, my friend? That's exactly right. BG slapping it down is exactly right. 416 Crypto, man. That I gotta tell you, let's go into that a little bit. So we're gonna talk about that. And he actually had a follow-up tweet, so he had like a 1 of 2 and then a 2 of 2 type deal. We're gonna go into that. I'm gonna share a little bit of that YouTube video today from Jeremy Allaire's channel. I believe he's the CEO of Circle. I'm not sure, but I believe that's what it is. And yeah, good interview talking about Federal Reserve banking. Was it full reserve banking? And he had a guy from China, former executive, I believe, at Bitmain and big time at over there in China. And boy, he laid it down. A little challenging to hear him because he had a little buzz in the background. And of course, you know, with the English, it was a little challenging, but no worries. Jeremy kind of laid it out for us and shared the bigger picture. I don't think it's any coincidence that, you know, right after that video, I think that video aired yesterday. It might have been today. I have to check and see. And then here comes Big BG, Brad Garlinghouse. Like we've all been commenting, this dude has not, he's been missing in action. He's been missing in action, but well, no longer. The dude came out swinging. What's going on, the Crypto Caveman? Good to see you. Keston Sinclair, is it Keaston? Keaston Sinclair is in the building. Good to see you, my friend. Bro XRP says, Siege, love the BG there. They're all in good fun to push XRP for the community, to push XRP for the coming out party. Boom, price soon. How about that? Yeah, interesting comments from Big G. But since you guys did not, some people didn't see it. Trey G said he didn't see it. Let's go over that a little bit. Make sure I got everyone in that checked in. Appreciate you guys being here. Extra free me. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you tonight. I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Thread Work Derek is here as well. Comedian Chuck Real is in the building. Absolutely. So, guys, let's go to Twitter. Shout out to all my fans out in the podcast world. Appreciate you being here. We always like to do a little bit of the shout outs before we kind of get into the content we're going to cover tonight. The MoneyGram and Uber partnership is cool, right? I mean, hey, it's cool. Savings is savings. I appreciate that, you know, happening, you know, to help out with the employees at Uber in terms of sending money, giving them some discounts. That's a pretty cool deal. Oh, Keaton cashed out us MoneyGram. Lucky Lloyd is here. XRP Hodler is here. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. All right, so let me share the Brad Garlinghouse tweet with you guys. Interesting little thing. Let's do this. Here it is here from Brad Garlinghouse. Interesting. U.S. regulators. Now is the time to step up and lean into digital currencies. Remaining complacent is actually setting us back, while China's grip on both crypto and fiat payments becomes stronger. Wow. He came out swinging, in my opinion. U.S. regulators, now is this time and step up and lean into digital currencies. Remaining complacent is actually setting us back, while China's grip on both crypto and fiat payments becomes stronger. Wow. And there's an article here from foreignaffairs.com he's referencing as well. He has a little follow-up here. It says, this piece nails it. And we're going to go over that piece a little bit as well from Foreign Affairs. One caveat, he says, public digital assets like XRP are not exempt from U.S. or global financial oversight. It's actually the opposite. Responsible players who use these assets want to work with regulators, not against them. Not against them. Let me see if I should share this article first. Let me share this article with you guys a little bit. I haven't gone over this article, but he's referencing this article, and he says they were pretty spot on with one caveat. Could China's digital currency unseat the dollar? This is from May 20th. And I believe some people might have covered this on the channel before, on YouTube before. So, wow, this is a big read. Okay, well, yeah, that's a long read there. Wow, wow, wow. That's a bunch. So we won't go over. Wow, we won't go over all of that. That is a big read right there. Let me see if I can find something that's more pertinent. The digital yuan is a far cry from Bitcoin, the project that first put digital currencies on the map. Bitcoin uses peer-to-peer technology to operate with no central administrator. Several million users maintain independent ledgers of all transactions with the distributed system and use consensus mechanisms to agree on which transactions are valid. Cryptographic technology is supposed to ensure that users' identities and transactions records are private, secure, and immutable. But the weaknesses of this model, widely fluctuating values and vulnerability to cyber attacks, has kept Bitcoin and other cryptos from becoming more than speculative. By contrast, the digital yuan is hyper-centralized. It is controlled by the People's Bank of China. Okay, I'm not going to go over this article. I will link this in the chat for you guys so you can check this out. I'm going to share the video of this guy talking about the digital yuan. So let me do this. Let me go back here because that's a long read right there. I'm sure it's a great read, but it's a long read. Let me show you this, share this video with you guys, because I'm telling you, you took the how many times? 4. Excuse me. Okay, cool. So my daughter's let me know that she's practicing for her test, her driver's license. So this guy lays it down. Again, it's a little hard to understand, you guys, so forgive me, but Jeremy Allaire, I think his name is Jeremy Allaire, he does cover it. He kind of sums it up for us a little bit so we can kind of understand it. It's a little bit of a difficult read because the guy, with his English, and he got a little bit of a buzz in the background of when he talks as well. But I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Alex G, good to see you, my friend. All right, let's do it. Let's see. Let's share this video with you guys. And Jeremy's getting on. He's going to kind of introduce, he's going to preface before he introduces this guy, what's kind of going on in the digital asset space, overall theme with CBDCs. So.
Stable coins full reserve money, et cetera. But we have real world implementations now today. On the one hand, we have real world implementations of models like US dollar coin, which is growing rapidly and which has a governance model around it, which is one of these emerging stablecoin arrangements, but probably one of the largest laboratories for these models is happening in China. And in China, of course, many people are aware of the announcement and now the gradual rollout of the Chinese digital currency, the digital currency electronic payment system. This is a huge experiment. It's one of the most advanced experiments in advanced economies in the world. It has, in my view, deeply significant implications for the future of the international monetary system, and not just around models that other people might learn from, but the projection of the Chinese economy and the relationship between firms and nations and the Chinese economy. So really deep and significant implications. And I'm really pleased to be joined here by Associate Research Fellow for the People's Bank of China and Chief Economist at Wanjiang Blockchain, Dr. Shanwei David Zhou. Welcome, David.
Hi, morning, Jeremy. Thanks for inviting.
Yeah, it's very kind of you to join us today. Appreciate it very, very much. I think maybe to start, you've done much broader work on fintech in China, and you've been obviously in this blockchain space as a chief economist in your current role, and previously with Bitmain, which is one of the very largest companies in the blockchain space. And that early work as well, led you to an important national prize in China. So you've been following the breakthroughs in fintech in China for some time, which, as we all know, far exceed the adoption of fintech in really any other part of the world. And so your perspective obviously is tremendous. With all that in mind, I think it'd be great if we could just start for our audience with just a basic overview of the Chinese DCEP, the Chinese central bank digital currency, its basic setup, its basic function.
Okay, yeah. So the digital currency in China is called DCEP. It's short for Digital Currency Electronic Payment. So the Central Bank of China has been studying this issue for about 6 years. And so as far as I know, it's far beyond the prototype stage. Now it's under experiment in several cities in China and in the retail use case. But China is still working on to finalize its DCP plan. So it has no committed timetable and for when DCP will be fully implemented. But as far as from the discussion of the senior leaders of the central bank, so it's very clear to see what this DCEP looks like. So basically, it's a new form of M0, just money base.
M0.
It's the liability of the central bank, but it's backed by 100% by deposit reserve, and it pays no interest. And the issuance and the redemption of DCEP will have no impact on the amount of central bank money. So if you look at the monetary policy, the issuance and the redemption of DCEP is neutral. Yeah. And the circulation of the DCEP follow the so-called two-tiered system of central bank and the commercial banks. That means it has the wholesale layer and then the retail layer. So first, the central bank, the PBOC, Central Bank of China will issue the DCEP to commercial banks in a wholesale approach. And then commercial banks will distribute DCEP to the public for retail use. And DCEP is centrally managed. It's not like Libra or other stable coin. It doesn't use blockchain in the same sense as Libra. Yeah. So in the core of this DCEP plan, there will be a registration center and the certification center. So basically, the registration center will record all DCEPs and the ownership and the transactions. And it will manage the whole life cycle of the insurance, circulation, and redemption of DCEP. And the certification center will manage the KYC process. So this is central managed. But it follows the PBOC core DCEP follow the loose account coupling model. DCEP transactions almost don't relate on account, so it can circulate as easily as cash. So this is a very tricky point. It's very important for us to understand this point, how it is related to blockchain and other blockchain-based central bank digital currency. So so because it is central managed, so it doesn't rely on distributed ledger technology. But if you look at the key feature of the DCEP, it's essentially similar to a token inside a blockchain.
Right.
For example, it has no double spending, and security and transferability, divisibility, and anonymity. Yeah. So it's very similar to a token inside a blockchain, but it doesn't rely on a blockchain.
It's using some of the same underlying technical primitives of cryptocurrency to achieve that cash-like usage and security and privacy. So it is in some ways a cryptocurrency. It's just a centralized cryptocurrency. As opposed to built on a decentralized network. One of the things I wanted to ask you about in this is, as you've heard on the program today, we're really interested in these full reserve models, and the nature of the Chinese digital currency is it is a full reserve model.
Yeah, it's full reserve.
And it's very different than traditional electronic money in some respects. And I'm interested in your perspective on what the implications are for this in a variety of areas, including monetary policy transmission, how it interacts with commercial bank deposits. And then how does that translate to broader benefits for society and the economy?
Okay, so there are actually two meanings of fully reserve. For example, for DCEP, the full reserve means the ratio between DCEP to the deposit reserve. That's on the balance sheet of the central bank. So that's how DCEP has low impact on the amount of central bank money.
Right.
The other meaning of full reserve is through the narrow banking and design. So that in that scenario, it means the ratio between the deposit and the deposit reserve. So for DCEP, it's a different kind of full reserve actually. Basically, it's a new kind of cash. It's a digital form of cash.
Right.
So people will transfer or move some of the money from bank deposit into this new DCEP. And basically, it means that people will have higher preference for cash. That's it. But for now, cash includes both physical form and digital form. And in this process, it will lead to monetary contraction. That means bank deposit will fall, and M0 will rise. And if you look at the monetary multiplier, it will fall too. So this will have some, and this will impact the funding source of banks, because with the DCEP, bank will rely more on wholesale funding rather than retail banking, and so the funding cost will rise.
Right.
So I think the Chinese central bank has taken this factor into considerations. They will use some monetary policy to neutralize or mitigate the contractory effect of the DCEP. And for the benefit for the society and the economies, so we can see three benefits. First, it will enhance financial inclusiveness, because it's very easy for people to have a DCEP wallet rather than a Chinese bank account,
Right.
especially for foreigners. And so if foreigners and foreign companies can have DCEP wallet, and
Yeah.
this will improve the cross-border payment, and
This
it will, yeah.
One of the most important things I wanted to touch on, actually, which is, you know, as we move into this world of these token-based digital currencies, you know, obviously the potential here is that the Chinese digital currency would be broadly available on the internet and around the world. In a sense, you know, any person or firm that has a digital wallet that's compatible with this could directly transact with the Chinese economy, directly transact with, you know, essentially using these liabilities of the Chinese central bank. And that could be very transformative to the growing role of China in the world economy and in how trade happens with China. And so in some respects, as a technological innovation, this is sort of the synthesis of the monetary system and the internet and the reach of the internet. And I think it's quite profound because we've obviously the multilateral financial system that was built up after World War II, that was anchored in dollars and built on things like SWIFT. We're seeing, you know, new infrastructure built that goes over the internet, and that really changes the nature of economic relationships with China in a profound way.
Yes, I agree with your point. So I think this, so currently PBOC has no plan to test DCEP in the cross-border payment scenarios, but I think they will have this in mind, and the PBOC will use DCEP as an important part of their strategy to internationalize the renminbi. So I think in the near future, we can see that foreign people and foreign companies will have DCEP wallets, and they will transact directly with the Chinese economy. And this is how DCEP become to settle international trade. And we also look forward for the DCEP to settle cross-border financial transactions. Actually, in Shanghai, the Chinese government has experimented the use of DCEP in post-trade processing. And this will promote the status of the renminbi on the international stage. But I think the Chinese government will work very close with the foreign governments to respect their currency monetary sovereignty. So for example, if there's a huge demand in a foreign country for the DCEP, the Chinese government will work with the foreign government to sign maybe a MOU and to lay out the DCEP infrastructure.
Well, I look forward to the day when someone can have a digital wallet and they can swap USDC for Chinese DCEP. Maybe that's not so far off in the future, but this has been very, very helpful, very insightful for all of us, and really connecting a lot of the dots from the, you know, these major big ideas into what's happening now on the ground in places like Shanghai and Shenzhen, and clearly eventually around the world. So once again, appreciate.
Okay. So did you guys catch what that dude was throwing down? Did you, TJ Jackson, my dude? That's exactly what I was saying. I wrote down in my notes, TJ Jackson. I wrote down in my notes. Brad Wallet Treadman, CEO of BRD, bro. Great minds, bro. Great minds. Did you guys catch what this dude is saying? I mean, you know, I don't know if he was looking down or looking at his computer for a translation, or you know what was kind of going on there, right? I don't know. But did you guys catch what this dude is saying? He said, you know, right now we're not really focusing on the cross border. We have no intentions on kind of doing a cross border thing, but by the way, anybody will be able to get this DCEP wallet. Both foreign companies and foreign people, this guy said. And because it's a lot easier to get this DCEP wallet than it is to get a bank account in China. Did you guys catch what this dude was saying? Oh, man. I took a page and a half of notes. Whoa. Whoa. I mean, this guy is, what? China's not screwing around. They are not. Did you guys catch that? And Treadman said it. TJ Jackson. I think his name is Treadman, the CEO of Breadwilder. He said it. We are integrating the BRD so that we can, in fact, deal in the China DCEP or the China yuan, whatever you're going to call it. Right? He ain't messing around. He knows. He knows. And that's a good thing because, SBI, Ripple happen to be invested in the BRD. Right? So, wow. I took some good notes too. Monetary policy to mitigate the challenges to the People's Bank of China. Very much like cash to have a DCP wallet versus, right? Whoa. Will be broadly available. The DCEP will be broadly available, right? Broadly available. Goodness gracious. I mean, he throws in, there's no intentions of cross-border payments, but we'll keep it, we're going to definitely keep it in mind. And then he says, if there's a huge demand, we won't have any problem signing an MOU, little working agreement, so that your country can operate in the DCEP as well. What? I mean, they are moving forward. Why do you think, I'm telling you, why do you think Big BG came out today? Let me see if that thing was today or was it yesterday? It was today. So it was today. It was today. So this little thing, because I watched it live, it was today. And then look where you're looking where you look at there. Here comes Big BG coming out with something. Right? Think about it. They're not messing around. They putting the world on notice. And Big BG, that's why he's saying what he's saying. Yeah, exactly, Peter Chung. Peter Chung says, it seems like China's leadership is on the move to implement a digital monetary system. But the U.S. is like a person behind the wheel of a car pressing the brakes, and that person is in the big banks. Yep. Well, we'll see what happens after this executive order, Peter Chung. Do you know about the new executive order that the president signed and put into action? Anybody here not hear of this executive order? Because I will bring it up for you. I will bring it up for you if you haven't heard. Anybody here tonight has not heard about the new executive order? I believe it to be extremely bullish. Morris Prince is in the building. What's going on? Aaron Villette, deregulation is right, my friend. It's right. That is exactly right. Anybody here not get a paragraph or two from that executive order? Anybody? Because if not, I'll share it. XRP Free Me says, not me. Let's hear it. Okay. I got you, XRP Free Me. Love forever, Lambo trucks. It's Sue. It's coming. Crypto Keeper, what's up? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. It is simple economics. Where is that at? The only way to stay the leader in the world money system, you have to move forward very fast. If we wait, we will be doomed. Just to follow. Absolutely, my friend. Great point, Crypto Keeper. Good to see you in the stream tonight. Good to see you in the stream tonight. I got to tell you, that's pretty powerful stuff right there. And I just believe if we know about that video from Jeremy Allaire, they know. Yeah, man. I just heard the VeChain MG. I just heard VeChain and Walmart kind of extended or elaborated, if you will, expounded on, I don't know, on their partnership with Walmart. I'm all in on XRP, but the way China's doing things, VeChain's looking like a good move too. It really does. It really does. At the moment, it's my second favorite. Well, Anthony King, he's got it now. Anthony King says, I think BG is still waiting for Big Brother with no answer and is getting impatient. Agreed. Especially when the executive order is out. What is that going to mean? What is that going to look like? Let me share this executive order with you guys. Let me see here. Let me see if I can't pull that up. Let's see. Where is it? Let's see if we can't get that for you guys. Give me 1 second. Let's share with those who may not have heard or seen this executive order. I believe it to be powerful. And where is that at? All right, let's try something else. I don't see it there. Oh, man, hold on a second. What is going on? Hold on. I don't know why I don't have this. Economic. Okay, there it is right there. Why did I have that? I don't know, but there it is right there. Let me share it with you guys. Let's go over this. This is a cool read, I gotta tell you. So this is the executive order, guys. XRP Free Me, executive order on regulatory relief to support economic recovery. Came out on May 19th, issued on May 19th. I'm going to go through it real quick for you guys. It's a fascinating read. I don't have to go through all of it. In December of 2019, a beer cold known as a beer cold was first detected in Wuhan, Hubei Province, People's Republic of China, causing an outbreak of the disease, which has now spread globally. The Secretary of Health and Human Services declared a public health emergency on the 31st of January under Section 319 of the Public Health Service Act in response to the beer cold. In Proclamation 9994 of March 13, 2020, declaring a national emergency concerning the beer cold. I declared, this is President Donald Trump speaking, I declared that the beer cold outbreak in the United States constituted a national emergency beginning March 1st, 2020. I have taken sweeping action to control the spread of the beer cold in the United States, including by suspending entry of certain foreign nationals who present a risk of transmitting the beer cold, implementing policies to accelerate acquisition of personal protective equipment and bring new diagnostic capabilities to laboratories, and pressing forward rapidly in the search for effective treatments and vaccines. Our states, tribes, territories, local communities, health authorities, hospitals, doctors and nurses, manufacturers, and critical infrastructure workers have all performed heroic service on the front lines battling this beer cold. Executive departments and agencies under my leadership have helped them by taking hundreds of administrative actions since March, many of which provided flexibility regarding burdensome requirements that stood in the way of implementing the most effective strategies to stop the beer cold spread. The beer cold has attacked our nation's economy as well as its health. Many businesses and nonprofits have been forced to close or lay off workers in the last 8 weeks. The nation has seen more than 36 million new unemployment insurance claims. I have worked with the Congress to provide vital relief to small businesses to keep workers employed and to bring assistance to those who have lost their jobs. On April 16, 2020, I announced guidelines for opening up America again, a framework for safely reopening the country and putting millions of Americans back to work. Just as we continue to battle the beer cold itself, so too must we now join together to overcome the effects of the beer cold has had on our economy. Success will require the efforts of not only the federal government, but also of every state, tribe, territory, and locality, of businesses, nonprofits, and houses of worship, and of the American people. To aid those efforts, agencies must continue to remove barriers to the greatest engine of economic prosperity the world has ever known, the innovation, initiative, and drive of the American people. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered as follows. It is the policy of the United States to combat the economic consequences of the beer cold with the same vigor and resourcefulness with which the fight against the beer cold itself has been waged. Agencies should address this economic emergency by rescinding, modifying, waiving, or providing exemption from regulations and other requirements that may inhibit economic recovery, consistent with applicable law and with protection of the public health and safety, with national and homeland security, and with budgetary priorities and operational feasibility. They should also give businesses, especially small businesses, the confidence they need to reopen by providing guidance on what the law requires, by recognizing the efforts of businesses to comply with often complex regulations in complicated and swiftly changing circumstances, and by committing to fairness in administrative enforcement and adjudication. The most compelling part of this all is when he talks about the agencies. And he gives a definition here of agencies. Agencies have the meaning given in Section 3502 of Title 44 of the United States Code. Now, we looked up the definition of agencies, and it was pretty compelling. Let's go do it again. Let's go here. That was a pretty good one. A business or organization established to provide a particular service, typically one that involves organizing transactions between two other parties. A business or organization established to provide a particular service, typically one that involves organizing transactions between two other parties. Now let's look up, let's see if we can find it here. Title 44, Section 3502. Let's see what that says there. We're going to look at this to kind of get a great idea for these agencies that he's mentioned 2 or 3 times in this executive order. Here it is. And this is from Cornell Law School. Okay. Now, this part here is essentially right out of the the government's definition of agency, but there's a later part in here we want to share as well. So the term agency means any executive department, military department, government corporation, government-controlled corporation, or other establishment in the executive branch of the government, including the executive office of the president, or any independent regulatory agency. Now, here's one point to note, what's not included, but it does not include the GAO. I just talked with a lady who spent a decade and a half working for the Government Accountability Office. Doesn't include them, doesn't include the Federal Election Committee, doesn't include the governments of the District of Columbia and the territories and possessions of the United States and their various subdivisions, or government-owned contractor-operated facilities. Cool. What does independent regulatory agency look like? Here it is. The term independent regulatory agency means, I'm going to go through these real quick, and highlight 2 or 3 very, very important ones. Means the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC, the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the Federal Communications Commission, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, the Federal Housing Finance Agency, the Federal Maritime Commission, the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, the Interstate Commerce Commission, Health Review Commission, the National Labor Relations Board, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, the Occupational Safety and Health Review Commission. Here comes the good ones. The Postal Regulatory Commission, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection, the Office of the Financial Research, and ding, 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 the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. That, my friend, are the agencies that now have the ability and the power and the approval and the permission to modify, rescind, waive, and provide exemptions from regulations in order that they may in order that they may enhance and provide for economic recovery. Let me say that again. The OCC, the SEC, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, now have the ability, have been given the power from the president to rescind regulations, to modify regulations, to waive regulations, to exempt regulations for the betterment of the economic recovery. And so Big BG is saying U.S. regulators, now is the time to step up and lean into digital currencies. Remaining complacent is actually setting us back, while China's grip on both crypto and fiat payments becomes stronger. He's calling them out. And I'm convinced that he watches Jeremy Allaire YouTube. And he just came from out of hiding, and he came out swinging. He came out swinging. So there it is, my dude, Trey G and the rest of you guys who didn't get a chance to go over that executive order. I believe that is a game changer. And now the regulators, he's calling them out publicly, He's the first one that I know in the digital asset space that is doing it, him and Larson. And now he's doing it even more so. Hey, it's time. China's about to do its thing. It's time. Right? China is about to do their thing. So that's the deal right there. I mean, that is essentially it, right? Oh, what do I want to do? Hide this one. Right? That's what ultimately, that's what it is. I mean, can it get any simpler than that? That's exactly right. What's going on, XRP Gal? Good to see you on the stream tonight, miss. Good to see you. Crypto Keeper, where you at? There he is. Let's share that. It seems, Crypto Keeper says, it seems the order was put in place to be able to move forward on all fronts, including financial systems, to do away with red tape that slows progress. We are primed to move forward with Ripple and XRP. This is exactly what I believe, Crypto Keeper. I really, really, really do. This is it. They can't say regulatory uncertainty anymore. Secretary Clayton can move forward now from the SEC. Brian Brooks from the OCC can move forward on the things that he's been wanting to do, that he mentioned, that he shared at CoinDesk Consensus, where he stated that these banks can learn from these crypto firms, and that we should be giving them a framework from which to operate, not locally but nationally. Now he's been given the green light to move forward with those thoughts and ideas. The SEC has been given a green light to make exemptions for regulations. They've been given a green light to maybe modify regulation or completely rescind it. They've been given the green light to move forward with the mass adoption and enabling of DLT and the digital asset space. That's exactly what that executive order has allowed them to do. It is the green light. It is the green light. Yeah, I don't think it's the end of the traditional banking system. I think they're going to work alongside XRP Gal. Let me share this. XRP Gal says, but moving forward is the beginning of the end of traditional banking. Big money is not ready for that. No, they are not. But the overall good for the country is just going to supersede that. We can't allow for, right? Here's what I'm thinking out loud. Are we going to allow China to dominate and make the renminbi the world's global reserve currency and not do anything? We're not going to move forward and try to do something about that. Are we just going to lay back, sit back, and let that happen? I don't think so. Having the renminbi move in does not do the banks any good. Even if it's the big banks, it's not going to do them any good if it's the reserve currency. So in addition to that, what about the trillions of dollars? What about the trillions of dollars? Trillions of dollars sitting in those reversal accounts that these banks, if they're able to hold XRP, if they're able to use it, will free up. Well, now they have that opportunity, XRP Gal. They now have that opportunity. You know what I mean? Now they have the opportunity to free up that cash. And if it's XRP, it's not the end of the banks. It's not XRP and Ripple, right? They're going to be working alongside the banks, central banks, right? Right? So I don't think it's going to be necessarily the demise. It may be the demise of the banks that aren't willing to pivot and adopt this technology, like Bank of America, like Santander, right? All these banks on the Ripple net. They're not looking to get disintermediated, right? And Ripple has made it very, very clear that they're not looking to replace the banks. They may be looking to get rid of that SWIFT network, right? But they're not looking to displace the banks. They're looking to work alongside and with the banks, especially in the cross-border payments space, right? And the smart banks are going to compete with these crypto firms like FX Pay or any of those things. The smart banks are going to pivot and learn to compete, or they'll be disintermediated, just like Margine Delatine suggested and just like Madame Lagarde suggested. If you're not willing to pivot, you will be. You've been given the chance. You've been given the chance. You've been given the chance. And I love what Clayton said one time when he was being interviewed. I'm not interviewed, but what is it? When they call, the call before Congress, he said the technology is here, and if we don't adapt, it will innovate around us. It's going to innovate around us. Ripple and the Ripple net is going to move in places where there's regulatory clarity and continue to do their thing with big banks. They're doing it with big banks in these different countries, with the main banks, with central banks. They're doing it. And they, these other banks, they're going to have to pivot or, get disintermediated. I love that phrase. So that's the green light, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, that is the green light without question, guys. So yeah, that's Big BG comes out, man, blazing. I love it. I love it. Now we'll have to see if they're going to do anything. Yes, they are. I saw that, XRP Gal. They are advertising some as be your own bank without question. That's what Vitsay Wen said that from the beginning. No need to have a bank. And this is the challenge that these banks, or especially these legacy banks, these top 5, 8 banks, are facing. Like that, a guy like Vitsay Wen from the Netherlands, I believe, can because of technology, advancing technology, he can grab market share. He can grab market share. These banks gonna have to pivot. The only thing they got, right now is they got a little bit of trust, right? So that, like the vast majority of people, they're not comfortable in the digital asset space, and they're not sure if they want to use, 2,000 characters in a wallet and using ledgers and all that. So the banks got trust. They got that custody thing on them, right? Here, just come put your assets here, right? That's why a lot of these banks are moving to custody. They're moving to custody, right? So, the banks the banks are going to have to do what's necessary, because they are going to, if they don't, they will be disintermediated without question. Without question. And be your own bank. Look, you don't have to be in the digital asset space to be your own bank. You don't. You can control the banking function of your life today if you have yourself a sound savings instrument, like a dividend paying whole life insurance payment. Or, right, you don't have to even be in the digital asset space. But if you're willing to tip your toes, you can just go to Celsius.network and have that same type of instrument. All right, guys, listen, it's been a great hang. I appreciate you guys being here. 75 people in the stream. Do me a favor and smash the likes on the way out, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. Really, really exciting time. Great time to hang out with you guys. Big G came out swinging, and I love it. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up the stream like I do all my streams and remind you of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.